Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting an America First caucus. This is not the first time that there was an organized effort to protect Anglo-Saxon heritage. This is right out of the KKK's playbook. This is open white supremacy. Now, this America First... apparently... Have you ever shown the stream the UC Davis pepper spray? No, I haven't. I don't think. That's such an old thing. I posted something. Make sure you check this out. America First. One God, one country, one flag. KKK march. The second and third incarnations of the Ku Klux Klan made frequent references to America's Anglo-Saxon blood, harkening back to 19th century nativism. She already caught so much flack that she ended the idea. Hold on, chat. Let me see this. Fury over the Anglo-Saxon caucus. A congressional white caucus reports that Reps Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar are planning to launch a House caucus based on the, quote, uniquely Anglo-Saxon, read white people, traditions, as GOP leaders and Democrats protested the embrace of blatant racism by some in the chamber. All eyes are on House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, who last night tweeted his disapproval of the proposed new group, but who will no doubt be called on to do more to stop it entirely. Uniquely Anglo-Saxon. Right out of the tweet I mean, this is the first, this is right out of the KKK wiki page. America First and Anglo-Saxon is Klan talk. That is Klan talk. Literal Klan talk. That's not even a dog whistle. That's not a dog whistle, chat. Wait, what's this? What's this? Marjorie Taylor Greene launching America First caucus.
President Trump's lawyers say he
pushing for Anglo-Saxon political tradition. Here it is. The America First caucus exists to promote congressional policies that are to the long-term benefit of the American nation. The North Star of any policy proposal will be that which serves the American people. This implies a degree of ideological flexibility. You know what? You know what movement has its hallmark is ideological flexibility or pragmatism? Communism? No. It's fascism. Fascism is noted for its ideological flexibility. Pragmatism is its watchword, doing whatever it takes to maintain power. The American First Caucus recognizes that our country is more than a mass of consumers or a series of abstract ideas. Okay, so if you're not somebody who studies a lot of political science, you probably don't know this, but America has what's known as civic nationalism. There's two types of nationalism, all right? There's what's known as romantic nationalism and civic nationalism. Now, nationalism is bad, but these are the two subsets. Romantic nationalism is the blood and soil myth. Basically, our nation is our blood in some exalted place. It is a genetic, it is a tribal, it is a identity that flows from who your parents are. To be part of that nation is based on who your parents are. That's the romantic nationalism. I'm sorry it's called that, but that's what it's called. And America has what's known as civic nationalism, which is we don't care. Well, we supposedly don't care about your blood. It's supposed to be about your beliefs. You swear allegiance to the Constitution. Americans, you get citizenship by being born here. It doesn't matter who you were born from. That's the idea of civic nationalism. Romantic nationalism was the core fundamental premise of fascism and far-right ideology. I feel like these are sort of racking. I wonder what Native Americans and Mexicans feel about that. The America First Caucus recognizes that our country is more than massive consumers or a series of abstract ideas. So they are rejecting cosmopolitanism, and they are rejecting civic nationalism. America is a nation with a border and a culture strengthened by a common respect for uniquely Anglo-Saxon political traditions. History has shown that societal trust and political unity are threatened when foreign citizens are imported en masse into a country, particularly without institutional support for assimilation and an expansive welfare state to bail them out should they fail to contribute positively to the country. What the fuck are they talking about? Have they never heard of Ellis Island? America is the mass immigration open borders country. Anglo-Saxon traditions, aka getting owned by the French. Normans! Is she a 1066 denier? Chat. There was something called the Norman invasion in 1066. Norman conquest was the 11th century invasion and occupation of England by an army made up of Normans. Is she a 1090, a 1066 denier?
In 1066, William the Conqueror defeated the Saxon king Harold and took his throne by force. The Norman conquest made it clear that a monarch would only remain on the throne if he was strong.
Jesus Christ. Just wait till it addresses the Ellis Island argument in the next paragraph. All right. While certain economic and financial interest groups benefit immensely from mass immigration, legal as well as illegal, as the aggregate output of the country increases, the reality of large segments of our society is the long-term existential future of America as a unique country with a unique culture and a unique identity being put at unnecessary risk is something our leaders could afford to ignore alone. What the fuck is she talking about? Are you memeing or are you serious about people not believing the invasion? I don't know, Lex Braddock. As such, America's legal immigration system should be curtailed to those that contribute not only economically, but have demonstrated respect for this nation's culture and rule of law. Post-1965 immigrants! Oh my god! It's literally racism! It's 100% racism! An important distinction between post-1965 immigrants and previous waves of settlers is that previous cohorts were more educated, earned higher wages, and did not have an expansive welfare state to fall back on when they could not make it in America, and thus did not stay in the country at the expense of the native born. Oh, no. They were starving Irishmen for the potato famine. They literally had nothing in their... They had lint in their pockets. What the fuck is she talking about? All the educated Irish immigrants from the famine. What the fuck? By the way, why is she saying post-1965? 1965 immigration reform. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, the law abolished the national origins formula. The act removed de facto discrimination against Southern and Eastern Europeans, Asians, as well as non-Northwestern European ethnic groups from American immigration policy. They want to go back to literal discrimination against Eastern Europeans? The national origins formula had been established in the 1920s to preserve American homogeneity by promoting immigration from Northwestern Europe. During the 60s, at the height of the civil rights movement, this approach increasingly came under attack for being racially discriminatory. The bill received wide support from both Northern Democratic and Republican members of Congress, but strong opposition mostly from Southern Democrats, aka Dixiecrats. The issue serves as an inter-party commonality among constituents and reflects the similar congressional district and representative voting patterns. The Hart-Keller Act created a 7-category preference system that gives priority to relatives and children of U.S. citizens and legal permanent residents, professionals, and other individuals with specialized skills, and refugees. The act maintained a per-country and total immigration limits, but included provisions exempting immediate relatives of U.S. citizens from numerical restrictions. The act also set a numerical limit on immigration for the Western Hemisphere for the first time in U.S. history. The act greatly increased the total number of immigrants, as well as the share of immigrants from Asia and Africa. That's why they're talking about that. They literally want to prevent people that are black from immigrating and Asian. That's what this is about. That's what they're referencing. Holy shit. Those pauses have been absolutely essential in assimilating new arrivals and weeding out those who could not or refused to abandon their oiled loyalties and plunge headfirst into mainstream American society. What the fuck is she talking about? Germans didn't assimilate at all. People still speak German in Pennsylvania. They're called the Pennsylvania Dutch. What is she fucking talking about? They were by the way, the German speaking in America only declined during World War I. They were not assimilated at all. What the fuck is she talking about? Drink the white supremacy Kool-Aid or get out of my country. Holy shit. Imagine never reading a book. Imagine never reading a book. Holy fuck. Do they want me to give up my dual citizenship to Mexico? People speak German 15 minutes outside of Madison, Wisconsin. Of course they do! America First movements have been claiming to protect America's uniquely Anglo-Saxon identity for a century. The phrase America First was popularized in 1915 when Woodrow Wilson used it in his speech to the nativist DAR, arguing that American subject hyphenate Americans, German American, Italian American, Irish Americans, to loyalty tests. Urging that Americans subject hyphenated Americans to loyalty tests. Remarkable addresses were delivered during the week, one by President Wilson to the Daughters of the American Revolution in Washington, the other by Colonel Roosevelt to the Knights of Columbus, New York. In a measure, both followed the same lines for both virtually had for their inspiration of America First. Of course, it was the hyphenization business that both had in mind. The president expressed faith in the loyalty of the great body of naturalized citizens. I would not be afraid upon the test of America First to take the census of all the foreign-born citizens of the United States, for I know the vast majority of them came here because they believed in America, and their belief in America has made them citizens than some people who were born in America. 1915 was the same year the Second Klan was born, thanks largely to the popularity of Birth of a Nation, released earlier that year, but also spurred by the lynching of a Jewish Leo Frank that summer. Investigation disclosed, it is said, that 50 men had sworn allegiance to the Klan by bowing down before the fiery cross, which was so dreaded by carpetbaggers and evildoers in the Reconstruction days. By the early 20s, America First was a wildly popular slogan used in presidential campaigns of 16, 20, and 24. Hearst frequently flew it above his masthead, including a slogan to keep America out of the League of Nations and to oppose labor unions. America First was used to support the explicitly eugenicist anti-immigration bills of the early 20s, designed to keep people of lower stock out of America and protect its supposed Anglo-Saxon identity. This speech from 1923, by no coincidence, includes the, quote, Negro problem. At exactly the same time the Second Klan had been expanding, it adopted America First as its favorite slogan, along with 100% American, i.e. not hyphenate. It also didn't like Negroes or labor organizers. This is from a Klan march in Louisiana in 1922. Abortionists beware. 100% American white supremacy. Race purity. Here's a Klan recruitment ad, also from 1922, in which they make America First their slogan for the white supremacism and Christian nationalism they endorse. The Ku Klux Klan is the one and only organization composed absolutely and exclusively of 100% Americans who place America first. What the Ku Klux stands for: the tenets of the Christian religion, white supremacy, a closer relationship between capital and American labor, preventing unwarranted strikes by foreign labor agitators, Now you see why what racism was used for, chat? See how it serves the interests of capitalism? It's almost exactly this moment when Anglo-Saxon emerges as a popular American conversation. If you look for white Anglo-Saxon Protestant in the American press before 1900, you won't easily find it because it wasn't used. But if you look for the first uses of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant in the American press in a simple search, guess who pops up with it? That's right, it's the Klan. It's in the early 20s. Google Ngram shows us how the use of Anglo-Saxon in American discourse gradually increased over the 19th century, along with the scientific racism it supported, until it explodes into the American corpus in the 20s. Soon promises to protect America first and the Anglo-Saxon race from hordes of undesirable immigrants and the Negro problem, where everywhere. This is also from 1923, as an anti-immigration bills were being passed. Klan is not anti, it is pro-American. These men were all ready to lay down their lives for the convictions that were dear to them, and the Klansmen stand ready to do as much in the present day. They are not going to stand by and see the country overrun by a set of people from foreign countries that were such a disgrace at home that their governments were glad to see them leave. They were quick to shut the door behind them. They will not stand to have their children intermarry with those of other races than the Anglo-Saxon race, which has gone down in history as the most progressive and most civilized of all races. This is the exact same shit they say today. They just don't say the Klan. He stated that the Klan was not against these, but was for America first. That any of these that might be hit by such a vow was against the Klan and its beliefs that America was the greatest country on earth. In his closing statements, he declared that the Pope of the Catholic Church would never move to the United States of America as long as the stars and stripes floated over the homes of the Ku Klux Klan, and that soon a flag would float from every schoolhouse and a Bible would be on every school desk. I could go on and on. I've written and lectured about this at length. My point is simple. This is not implicit. It is not accidental. It is deliberate, clear, explicit, and a century old. Same old song, different white supremacists singing. If you're interested more in how it evolved through the 30s in the Lindbergh and the America First Committee of 1940 to 1941, I write about that at length in my book, but also here. So anyway, chat, go. Very, very important. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I read it already. Thank you, Twitter. And by the way, chat, this is Tucker Carlson. This is the Republican Party of today. I knew I've heard every single one of these talking points before.
A former leader of the American Nazi Party is running for Congress in Illinois. As the only Republican on the ticket, it looks like he is about to win the primary next month. His name is Arthur Jones. He has never disavowed his Nazi views. Here's what Jones said at a rally in Kentucky last April. And we warn all of you that the language you're about to hear in this segment is offensive.
The white majority are fed up with all of these lying, cheating, thieving, warmongering, child molesting, political pimps and whores of this corrupt and decadent two-party, Jew party, queer party system.
Arthur Jones, that Republican candidate for Illinois' 3rd District, joins us now. Mr. Jones, it is shocking to hear how vocally and unapologetically racist you are. Are you a Nazi?
Well, for the past 15, 20 years, I have not had anything to do with any National Socialist organization on a formal basis.
But do you call yourself a Nazi?
I don't call myself a Nazi. I call myself an American patriot and statesman.
Okay, well, let me give our viewers some details about this, just so they can decide for themselves. You've been part of anti-Semitic groups since the 1970s. You go to neo-Nazi rallies. We have pictures of you there. We're part of the White People's Party. You dress in Nazi garb, and you celebrate Hitler's birthday. You're a Nazi.
Well, I do not belong to any formal National Socialist organization anymore, and I haven't belonged to one since about 1990, okay? The only organization that I belong to is my own organization, and that's the America First Committee, okay?
Yeah. You can call it whatever you want, Mr. Jones, but your website is filled with the most vile, rancid rhetoric I think I've ever
I disagree
read.
with you. It's not vile and rancid, it's the truth.
It is?
There's nothing on that website that's not true.
Mr.
I personally put that stuff on there.
Yeah.
I personally picked out the articles on there because they're true. Now, I
That's
can't help
really
it if you don't want to
troubling.
accept the truth.
Listen,
I can't help it if you don't want to accept the truth. You Jews media, you've gone absolutely nuts. You think that Adolf Hitler's revived from the grave or something. It's one man, myself, that's standing for the truth. And the news media can't stand that.
Mr. Jones,
The
what we
Democrats
can't
and
stand
Republicans,
is
the
your
cursed
vile
two-party, Jew party, queer party
rhetoric
system
and
can't
your
stand
language and the fact that you deny the Holocaust. You are
So, Plano says something very important. To me, this is CNN absolutely inept at dealing with this kind of threat. They're talking down to him like a fucking child, trying to make him see the way and feel shame. They never feel shame. They're fucking monsters. You just gave them the mic on a national platform, you fucks. Yes, it's absolutely terrible when a CNN anchor or Xander Hall or whatever platforms and loses a debate to a Nazi. There's a concept, chat, that you may not be familiar with, but I'm going to explain it to you. Called the mere exposure effect. The mere exposure effect is a psychological phenomenon by which people tend to develop a preference for things merely because they are familiar with them. Social psychology, this effect is sometimes called the Familiarity Principle. When you bring on Nazis and you're happy-go-lucky and friendly with them and promoting their book or saying white rights or whatever dumbass shit you do, you make more Nazis. If you deal with a Nazi, you have to be unrelentingly hostile. You don't go on Killstream and joke about how nice they are. You don't platform Milo. You don't platform Nick Fuentes. You don't platform Lauren Southern. You fucking idiots. Especially when you lose.
entitled.
Yes,
Yes,
Sam, I
I
see
deny
that.
the Holocaust. It's an
Listen, Mr.
extortion racket.
You
pure
are
and simple.
entitled to
and
your
if you did
own
any
crackpot
investigation, if you did
theory.
any
You are entitled to your own crackpot theory. She's not even bothering to debunk it.
That's Braxton.
That is how they do it.
Those bums won their court case, so they're marching today.
What bums?
Fucking Nazi party.
Illinois Nazis. I hate Illinois Nazis.
Yes, sir. Ruppenfjord, get that car's license plate number. We're gonna kill that son of a bitch.
I subscribe for a lot of leftist streamers for giving Lauren Southern a platform to spew her white nationalist rhetoric. They're not trying to debate their content. They're just fishing so they can upload it to their YouTube and make those Bezos. But it's pretty fucking gross, isn't it? Pretty fucking gross. Pretty fucking gross.
honest, and if you did
By
any,
the way, chat, I have offers to debate fascists all the time. I have offers to debate fascists all the fucking time. And you know what I say? No. I barely like to debate conservatives because of how close they are aligned to these fascist fucks. But they're relevant, and it's important that we debunk their theories. And whenever I debate a conservative, they get slapped across the face, and they know it. But you don't platform a fascist. You're not doing any good. Don't you need to give them another platform to blast their rhetoric? I mean, it's just... Tim Heidecker had Nick Fuentes and did his best to tear his ass up. Even then, I don't think it went that well, honestly. I love Tim.
Investigation of the Holocaust, you'd realize that it is nothing but an international extortion racket by the Jews to bleed, blackmail, extort, and terrorize their enemies.
Yeah.
And to suck us into one war after another in the Mideast.
Yeah,
I was not campaigning as a National Socialist. I was campaigning as a Republican. I was campaigning on the one issue that's on everybody's mind, and that's to avoid war in the Middle East. We need more wars.
Sure.
No, we don't need more wars.
Fine,
we need
I
more
understand.
jobs.
And you call the...
By the way, chat, do you see the threat of the Nazi right there? We don't need more wars. We need more jobs. Who could disagree with that? They beat liberals in debates. The only antidote to fascism is socialism. Liberals lose.
Well, I don't even want to quote you, but here's the deal.
That's what ended fascists the last time. It was socialism.
Here, you can have your own conspiracy theories.
They act like it's a civil debate, even when they deny the basic humanity of oppressed people. It's pretty easy to debate a fascist when you have nothing at stake. When you're a white man debating another white national socialist Nazi fuck, you have nothing at stake. If they win, you're part of the select few. It's an academic debate for you. Will you platform Stalinists or North Korea stands? They basically don't exist.
But you can't have your own facts.
Not conspiracy theory, it's a fact. The Jews controlled basically the country,
Jews
the Congress,
were killed.
the economy,
Adolf
the
Hitler
media.
perpetrated a genocide.
Virgil Texas said he was a Stalinist. Called a joke. A joke. Zizek isn't a Stalinist either.
Auschwitz death camp existed, and the Nuremberg trial happened. Those are the facts, sir. Either way, here's the larger point.
It's a scam.
Fine, you're on the record. You've said that you don't believe the Holocaust.
Forged records of Holocaust survivors are getting special Social Security benefits.
I'm glad that you're pinning all of your...
Wow, look at what she said. He's just going on there and spouting National Socialism. And what you just saw, chat, mere exposure effect. She's doing nothing to defeat it. So some percentage of people who are watching CNN just became a Nazi.
I'll hold up these papers and that will prove my position.
You laugh at it, but I'm sure there are cases of people forging documents to get Social Security. Of course, people do crimes all the time. This is actually a conversation I've had with people before. Here's how you know you're being bigoted. When you see a member of a minority group, say a female police officer, and the female police officer fucks up, if you look at that woman and say, man, female police officers don't cut it. We shouldn't have female police officers. Because a woman who is a cop fucks up, you're a misogynist. Probably a bad example. Let's say a female doctor, because I don't want to get mixed up with the stupid abolish police side argument. Let's make a new example. If a woman doctor fucks up and you look at her and go, women aren't cut out to be doctors. Look at how she fucked up. You're a misogynist. You wouldn't look at a white male doctor fucking up and going, white male doctors, man, white men, they're not cut out to be a doctor. You'd be like, that guy sucks. But when there is an oppressed minority that's in a position, you see them as a representative of all oppressed minorities. If a Jewish person commits bank fraud, that's not representative of Jews. That's representative of that guy. So if you ever catch yourself associating an entire group because of one individual, you are now doing the bigotry. It's true. It's a generalization, inductive reasoning by ignorant people. And if a Muslim kills someone, it's terrorism. But if a white guy does it, they're mentally unwell. Exactly, feathered souls. Exactly. Like Tucker Carlson talking down about women pilots. Perfect example. But it's true. All white people are racist. Okay, that's the one example where it's true. That's the one example where it's true. Just became a Nazi is a bit too direct. Just became more open to the idea of Nazism. Absolutely. Right, exactly.
Position and platform on that piece of paper.
Former Congressman Bill Lipinski, okay, acknowledging
Mr. Jones,
forged record was used to give him special...
This guy got 25% of the vote compared to the Republican candidate who got 49 and 44. Snorlax. So you're saying he got the majority of the Republican vote stuck with him. The majority of the Republican vote stuck with him. Snorlax. That's what you're trying to say. An out-and-out Nazi talking about Jewish Holocaust conspiracies got the majority of the Republican vote in the general election. Daniel Lipinski. Daniel Lipinski versus Arthur Jones. 2018. 25.9%. The out-and-out Nazi. By the way, chat, this is a district that a Justice Democrat won. A Justice Democrat has taken over this district, Maureen Newman. One of the candidates that we supported from the very beginning on this stream, because we talk about politics here. You know who Maureen Newman is if you watch this stream. Justice Democrat primaried one of the most conservative Democrats, Daniel Lipinski. That was this year. That's another W for the Justice Democrats. So in this district, progressivism is countering Nazism. And it shows you in a district where Nazism is strong. She's a lib. I didn't say she was a socialist. I said she is a Justice Dem. Is she a Justice Dem that doesn't vote for Justice Dem priorities? Oh, that's great. Wait, what? Is my representative on Medicare for All? Marie Newman. Right there. What the fuck are you talking about? Bing.
For decades, you're steeped in this kind of crazy crackpot theory. But here's the larger point. How do you think that you are going to represent the people of Illinois?
Mike, when are you going to do a subathon or hot tub stream? You know what I would like? I would like to hit my sub goal. How about we have that as a sub goal? We hit the sub goal. We're almost 3 hours of this stream, so we're ready to shill. I took a day off, chat.
In this district, you have 700,000 people in your district. 7,000 of them are Jews. How do you plan to serve them as a public servant?
The overwhelming majority are
white
white
tier 3 or 5
Christian
tier 1s, whatever you want to do. Snaps, thanks to the 2 tier 1. I mean, if it's your personal sub, I want you to sub at tier 3. If it's your personal sub at tier 3. As far as gifts, it doesn't matter.
patriots. And I might add black Christian patriots, Latino Christian patriots.
So
they don't want any more wars in the Middle East. And the Israeli lobby controls the Congress of the United States, and has sucked us into one war after another. And that's what I'm running against. Not the Holocaust. I'm running against trying to prevent a Holocaust in the Middle East.
Yeah, a couple things. The Republican Party, the state Republican Party, has completely disavowed you. They say the Illinois Republican Party and our country, please let me speak, Mr. Jones, have no place for Nazis, like Arthur Jones. We strongly oppose his racist views and his
Arthur
candidacy
Jones fought for this
any
country.
public
I was
office,
in Vietnam.
including
Were
the
any of
3rd
those
Congressional
idiots in
District.
Vietnam? I don't
Mr.
think
Jones,
so.
I'm going to make my point. The National Republican Party has also done so. We condemn this candidate and his hateful rhetoric in the strongest possible terms. Here's the good news. You have a
That's a
long
picture of me in
track record,
Vietnam,
Mr.
okay?
Jones. Yes, you did serve in Vietnam. But something
That's
has
right.
happened since
Honorably.
then where
Honorably.
you are not
I wasn't
honoring
a draft
the
dodger
people.
like a lot of these communist Jews that were in the streets.
Here's what everybody needs to know, Mr. Jones. You have a long track record of losing. You lose virtually everything that you run for. You've run for Congress and you've lost, for mayor, for alderman. And we're not in the business of predicting the news, but I can say that you will lose this race.
Persistency paid off. Now I'm going to be on the ballot for the March 20th primary and on the ballot for the November election.
Mr. Jones, we're going to go.
I keep running because I'm a better man than most of those people in Washington.
We'll see what the voters think about that.
I don't believe in politically
We'll see if the voters think that you are the person
standing for the truth,
to
no matter
represent
what.
them. Arthur Jones, we heard your opinion, and we'll see what happens. Chances are you'll go down in flames.
Now, he ended up losing, Chad. He ended up losing, but he got 26% of the vote in the general election. 26% of the vote, which means he actually got around 60% of the Republican voters in that district. A lot of the Republicans, so 6 out of 10 Republicans would vote for a Nazi over a Democrat.
That's praxis.
Is that the suburbs? No, it's not the suburbs. It's not the suburbs. It's not the suburbs. It goes right to downtown Chicago. It has some of the suburbs, yes, but it actually goes, it goes into downtown Chicago. I lived in that district. It is more suburb than Chicago. Yeah, true. So that is my rant, my long rant about America first, about racism in America. That was pretty good. We do politics here every morning starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can watch us here on Twitch. We're the morning guy, the morning politics guy, Politics Frogs, in every single day, same time, 10 a.m., day in, day out. And we carry you through your morning and early afternoon politics needs. And if you need more, Mike from PA, we have a YouTube channel. We talked about suburbs, the My Pillow guy, Ted Cruz. We talked about DSA. Amazing. Making fun of Tim Pool. Amazing. Look at all of these amazing videos. Get in there, watch them. We have me on Twitter. You gotta follow me on Twitter, chat. I'm at 20,614 subs. That means I got like 40 followers on Twitter in the last day. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Go follow us on Twitter. And of course, join the Discord, where we have an incredible community of left-wing streamers. We have left-wing community. We talk about the stream. We talk about politics. There's gaming content. It's a really awesome, supportive place. Direct action, mutual aid, and you can just let off some steam. And also, you can help produce the show. One of the things I do is I look at the links that are put into the news content suggestions chat room on the Discord. Join the Discord, come hang out, and maybe what you want me to talk about will be part of the next show.